On example number 3, it says graph the function y is equal to 2x minus 1 with the domain -1, 0, and 2. Then once we're done, we can identify the range. First thing I want you guys to do, I want you guys to highlight the information that's given to you. So I need to be able to graph the function, and then for the domain 0, -1, 0, and 2. Now remember, the domain are the x values. So I'm going to let x equal to -1. I'm going to plug it in, and that'll give me a y value. I'm going to plug in a 0 for the x, and I'm going to get a y value. I'm going to plug in a 2 for the x, and that'll give me a y value. So first, I'm going to let x is equal to -1. So I'm going to use the first one. I'm going to go and write down the equation. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. But instead of the x, I'm going to plug it in with a -1. So y is equal to 2 times -1 minus 1. So instead of the x will be a -1. And I'm going to simplify, and that'll give me a y value. So it gives me, multiply first, so that's -2 minus 1. Y is equal to -3. That gives me a point. So if I plug in a -1 for the x value, the y value will give me -3. So now that I have the point -1, -3, remember this is a -1, so I'm going to go to the left 1. This is a -3, I'm going to go down 3. So left 1 and down 3. That's my first point. Now for the next one, I'm going to let x equal to 0. So let x equal to 0. And I'm going to plug in this the x value in here, which is a 0. Y is equal to 2x minus 1. But instead of the x will be a 0. So it gives me y is equal to 0 minus 1. So y is equal to -1. So that gives me another point. If x is 0, y is -1. So that means I'm going to stay here, and then I'm going to go down 1. So I'm not going to go left or right. I'm just going to go down 1, and that's my next point. Now, if you guys don't have enough space to do the next point, you can go ahead and do it on the left-hand side. I think I have enough space here. So for the next one, I'm going to let x equal to 0, x equal to 2, and I'll plug it in. Now, ideally, if they ask you just to graph it, and they don't give you a domain, you guys can use any numbers you want for the value of x, and that'll give you different points. We can connect them, and that'll be a point. In this case, they're being very specific, and they want you to use -1, 0, and 2. So let's go use the last one, 2x minus 1. But instead of the x will be a 2. I'm going to simplify, multiply first. Y is equal to 4 minus 1. Y is equal to 3. So my point will be, if x is 2, the output value was 3. Remember, and that's what we call them an input, because we can input it and out comes the y. We can input an x and out comes a y. So the input, the output. The last one was 2 to the right and up 3. So that means we're going to go 2 to the right and 2, 3 up here. Now, once you finish, you should be able to connect all 3 points with a straight line. And you guys can use your ID. We're going to place arrows because that is a line that continues beyond your paper. Now the range, remember, your range, let's write down x and y, doctor. So your range are your y values, which are -3, -1, and 3. And we're just talking about the range on these 3 specific points and not the range of the entire graph. So go ahead and try example number 4. Try it by yourselves and then check and see if you got it right. Go and pause it. Great. So for example number 4, I need to grab the following function. So I'm going to use my highlighter. And they want me to use the domain -2, -1, and 1. And then I'm going to identify my range I'm underneath. So first, remember your domain are your x values. I'm going to use the first point, or the first value of x, which I'm going to let x is equal to -2, y is equal to -3. Instead of the x, I'm going to plug in a -2. Now I'm going to simplify it. So y is equal to 6 plus 1. So y is equal to 7. That gives me a point. If the x value is -2, that means the output value, the y value, was 7. So I'm going to go to the left 2 and up 7. Let me see if I have enough space. To the left 2 and 2, 4, 6, 7, barely. Let's go and try the next one, -1. So I'm going to let x equal to -1. We have y is equal to -3, but instead of the x will be a -1 and then plus 1. I'm going to substitute. I'm going to simplify. So it gives me 3 plus 1, y is equal to 4. So that gives me another point. So if the input value was -1, the output value was 4. So -1, comma 4. -1, that means I'm going to go to the left 1, +4, I'm going to go up 4. And you must write down your arrows for your homework. I want to be able to see it for the first few sections. So I'm going to go to the left 1 and up 4. And one more. I don't have enough space here, so I'm going to work it out on the left hand side. So I'm going to let x equal to 1. That gives me y is equal to -3, but instead of the x will be a 1. That will be my input value. Let's go and find the output value, the value of y. So y is equal to -2. That gives me a point. So if x is 1, y is -2. That means I'm going to go to, it's positive, I'm going to go to the right 1, and then I'm going to go down 2. So let's go and graph it. I'm going to go to the right 1 and down 2, and that'll be my other point. I'm going to connect all 3 points, and that should give me a straight line. Now, if I want additional points, then I can plug in a 0, a 2, and a 3, and that'll give me all the points on the graph. My range for these 3 points will be my -2, 7, and 4. Well, thank you so much. Please email me if you have any questions, and have a great day.